When Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch crossed the finish line at Pocono, it was a great day for Joe Gibbs Racing as the cars that had started the race on the front row ended it in the same position. Hours later, however, drama unfolded when NASCAR disqualified both JGR cars after discovering pieces of tape on both during post-race inspection. How did it get there? But more importantly, how did NASCAR find it? According to one Cup Series driver, someone in the garage tipped off officials and they knew exactly where to go. As we all know, when we're not enjoying a NASCAR race at the track or on TV, everyday life can be hectic. Time is precious. I don't know about you, but for me, coming up with a plan for food and executing it, including grocery shopping and meal prep, can be time-consuming. That's why I'm so happy to partner with HelloFresh. My wife recently told me about this service, so we decided to try it out. I have to say, it has exceeded both of our expectations on multiple levels. For starters, it's super convenient and allows us to skip the grocery store and spend more time doing things we want to do, like catching up on the latest NASCAR news. Speaking of convenient, each meal is foolproof, as it provides step-by-step recipes that can be made in around 30 minutes or less. Another huge benefit is HelloFresh is up to 72% cheaper than dining at a restaurant or grocery shopping. But don't think because the meals are easy to make and less expensive that the food isn't good. The food is absolutely delicious, and there's a fantastic selection to choose from that is organized in easy-to-understand categories like meat and veggies, fit and wholesome, and quick and easy. I have to say my favorite right now is a tie between the Firehouse cheeseburgers and the Pan Pork Carnitas tacos. Another great thing is you can customize your box by swapping out one protein or side for another. That means more choices and more meals truly tailored for you. I've already told my friends and family to give HelloFresh a try, and now it's your turn. And there's no excuse not to do it with this incredible offer. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code CheckeredFlag16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. That's right. Head over right now to HelloFresh.com and use the code CheckeredFlag16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. I want to thank HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and you can thank me later for telling you about this awesome and delicious service. Denny Hamlin should have known he was in for an up-and-down day at Pocono when he led the field to the green flag but tagged the wall on the exit of Turn 1 on the very first lap, and he was just getting started. Late in the race, Hamlin did something similar on a restart. However, this time around, Ross Chastain was on his outside, and he escorted the number 1 car into the wall. Was it payback? Only Hamlin knows for sure. Several laps later, Hamlin and Busch crossed the finish line and ended the race the same way they started, in first and second position. Hamlin celebrated his 3rd win of the year and his 7th all-time at Pocono, breaking the tie for most career wins at the track with Jeff Gordon. Then, hours later, in a moment NASCAR fans will never forget, the sanctioning body shockingly announced that Hamlin and Busch had both failed post-race inspection and been disqualified.
We were doing our post-race inspections, which we do. There was some issues discovered that affect aero of the vehicle. The part was the front fascia, and there really was no reason why there was some material that was somewhere that it shouldn't have been, and that does basically come down to a DQ. It is a penalty. Both first 11 of Denny Hamlin and the 18 of Kyle Busch been DQ'd.
Hamlin's DQ was the first in the Cup Series since 1960. Chase Elliott, who had finished 3rd, was declared the winner. Let the conspiracy theories begin. For the next several days, information about what happened in the post-race inspection slowly trickled out. NASCAR Senior Vice President of Competition Scott Miller visited with SiriusXM NASCAR Radio and removed the mystery of what officials found.
So everybody understands, it's the fascia is the bottom part of the nose that attaches to the splitter. The nose is kind of a two-piece affair there, and the lower part is called the fascia. So it was on the lower fascia. It was extra layers of vinyl that in effect deviated the part from the approved CAD files, and that's what it was.
The vinyl Miller was referring to was pieces of tape. It doesn't sound like a lot, but based on what NASCAR had been telling the team since before the start of the season about messing around with vendor-supplied parts in the next-gen car, it was undeniably a violation of the rules. With Miller's comments, NASCAR had answered the biggest question most fans wanted to know in what was found, but it still hadn't answered the interesting question of how. What led to the discovery of the tape on both cars? It was made clear that it was discovered after the car wrap was removed, but was it the entire wrap that was removed and NASCAR had stumbled onto the pieces of tape? Or did they find it some other way? This week on the Stacking Pennies podcast, Corey LaJoie answered that question and made it abundantly clear that officials didn't accidentally find anything. They were provided detailed information by someone in the garage and knew exactly where to look when the JG cars were inspected.
I heard it went as soon as the 18 or 11 parked in pit road. There was an official that went right to the wrap and pulled it right off. Like, what's this?
Yeah, so they knew it was there somehow. Either somebody, the garage polices itself.
Oh, somebody rolled on them.
Everybody looks at everybody's cars. Everybody takes pictures of them, and if you could see it, it's something that they knew was going on somewhere.
Well, the Toyotas have the way their ID kit of their nose is made. It goes up to about, I don't know, like 6 or 7 inches, halfway up the front fender. Well, so they just put that helicopter tape in this body line here to soften the body line up, whether that adds some side to it, knocks some front, put some front DF in it. Whatever it was, I can assure you it wasn't worse, or they wouldn't have went through the process of building it.
Correct.
They owned it in the PC way of saying we're going to adjust their assembly process. Like, we might have forgot a piece of tape. No, it was on there on purpose.
As NASCAR made clear in its multiple statements on the situation, it dropped the hammer because Hamlin and Busch were, without question, trying to gain an advantage, and they got caught. Skip Flores, who works for Team Penske, remarking about the garage self-policing was proven that day. Someone saw what the JGR teams had done, noted it, likely took a picture, and then provided the evidence to NASCAR, who, to its credit, acted. NASCAR has consistently said teams caught attempting to skirt the rules with a next-gen car will face severe penalties. Brad Keselowski found out earlier this year. Hamlin and Busch found out on Sunday. Michael McDowell found out himself a couple of days later. It's a new culture around the sport, and one where fans can have faith that the teams are all playing on a level field in the car as NASCAR intended. And it's also one where you can only imagine each team is not only focused on its own car, but definitely has one eye on the competition.